Good afternoon. Thank you. We're live. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the Knoxville, Knox County Planning Commission. My name is John Huber. I'm chair of the Planning Commission, and I'll be conducting today's meeting. Assisting me today is the executive director of Knoxville, Knox County Planning, Amy Brooks, and the planning attorney, Tasha Blakeney. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Mr. DeArmond, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Browning.
Here.
Commissioner Levinson. Here. Commissioner Boyer. Commissioner Barger. Commissioner Overton. Commissioner Perez.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson. Here. Commissioner Butler.
Here.
Commissioner Biggs is excused. Commissioner Daly. Here. Commissioner Gill.
Here.
Commissioner Midas. Commissioner Adams. Here. Commissioner Huber.
Here.
That's 12 present, sir.
Thank you. Participating in the meeting today with me are planning commissioners who have been appointed by the mayor of the city of Knoxville or the mayor of Knox County. We receive no salary and volunteer our time as a service to our community. We will be supported by our professionally trained staff, representatives from the city and county engineering and permitting departments, as well as other agencies. Now, a word with how discussion will take place. Hope all of you had the opportunity to review today's agenda package on planning's website at knoxplanning.org. In addition to today's agenda, the website contains information about how today's meeting will be conducted, as well as the correspondence on individual cases. I'll call each item on the agenda and read our staff's recommendation for that item. Once an item is called, the applicant, or those in support of the applicant, will be allowed to speak first. They will have a combined 5 minutes to speak on the matter. The applicant may defer their right to speak first to the opposition if they so choose. Likewise, anyone opposed to an application will have a combined 5 minutes to speak on the matter. If either the applicant or the opposition wishes to have an opportunity for rebuttal on that file, they will need to reserve any remaining time out of their original 5 minutes. Because of the number of items we have on our agenda today, groups in favor of or opposed are asked to appoint a spokesperson to represent them. All speakers for and against should limit their remarks to the facts of the case and should avoid repeating information that has already been presented to the Planning Commission by previous speakers. The Planning Commission may grant additional time for presentations of information. If you have any items you would like to make a part of the record, please submit those documents to knoxplanning.org/share or hand them to one of our staff members located on your left. Please identify the file number and meeting date in your submittal. Many of the items we vote on today will require further action by either Knoxville City Council or the Knox County Commission. For matters that are forwarded to City Council for final action, the representative should be present at the meeting where it is considered. For matters that are forwarded to Knox County Commission, the applicant must be there for the meeting. If they do not, it may be postponed or it could even be denied. All applicants will be notified of the city and county meeting dates. If you have any questions regarding the meeting date process, please contact one of our planning staff. Today's meeting will be conducted in the order of the agenda. Please stand as you are able as Vice Chair Levinson leads us in an invocation and a pledge of allegiance. All right. Next on the agenda are the postponements and withdrawal list. I will read these separately. Item number 34, automatic postponement for 30 days, William Francis Gray. Automatic withdrawal, number 9, Casey Chapman. Automatic withdrawal, number 33, Gary Coyle. Those do not require a vote. We do not have any 60-day, oh, I'm sorry, we got to, yeah, so we're good there. So now we're going to move on to the 30-day postponements. I have item number 10, Salamanca Gilberto Cortez. Item 13B, Honey Joseph, 30 days. Item number 14, Mainland MCA Knoxville for 30 days. Are there any other requests for a 30-day postponement? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion to postpone the items for 30 days as read. I have a motion by Commissioner Barger and a second by Commissioner Daly. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. We do not have any 60-day postponements. We do not have any 90-day postponements nor withdrawals to be voted on today. We have one tabling that will need to be voted on. Item number 31, Stephen W. Abbott, Jr. Are there any other tablings that we need to discuss? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion as read. We have a motion by Commissioner Barger and a second by Commissioner Daly to approve. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries. We are not removing anything from the table today. We will now move on to our consent list. Next on the agenda is the consent list, which is composed of items marked with a C. These items are considered non-controversial and are voted on all at once in order to save time. Items are listed in the order they appear on the agenda. Please listen carefully. Once an item is approved as part of the consent list, there will be no further discussion on it. After I read the list, I will give the members of the public an opportunity to remove an item from this list, but it's very important that you do it at that time. If not, it will be voted on and approved, and you will not have an opportunity to speak on it. Do we have any recusals from commissioners on this consent list? Seeing none, I will read the consent list. Item number 2, approval of November 13th, 2025 agenda. Item number 3, approval of October 2nd, 2025 minutes. Number 6, Sean Olu. Number 7, 100 West Depot Investors LLC. Number 8, 100 West Depot Investors LLC. Number 11, Pellissippi Dutchtown General Partnership. Item number 13A, Honey Joseph. Item number 15, Joel and Pam Poteet or Potat. Item number 16, Stephen W. Abbott, Jr. Item number 17, Mitul Kaptiwala. 18, final plat of Oaks Point. Number 19, final plat of Harvest Meadow Unit 2 and re-subdivision of lots 31, 32, and 77 of Harvest Meadow Unit 1. Item number 20, final plat of Oak Vista, formerly known as George Light Townhomes, pardon me. Item number 21, final plat of the Poplar Farms subdivision, Phase 1. Item number 23, Knoxville Dream Center. Item number 24, Ball Homes LLC. Item number 26, Tyndall's Building Supply. Item number 27, David Harbin. Item number 32, Kelsey Chambers. Item number 35, Mark Wright. Item number 37, Walker Enterprises LLC. Item number 39, Shannon Snyder. Item number 40, DK Levy - Daniel Levy. Item number 41 has been removed from the consent list and will be heard at its regular time. Item number 42, Knoxville, Knox County Planning. So, oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought we'd already removed it. Okay, yeah, we will be removing item number 41 with this motion. Is there any other items that need to be pulled from the consent list? Anybody in the audience? Anyone, any commissioners?
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Because we don't see this terribly often, but for the,
Honey Joseph.
yeah,
Yeah.
how does that work? My question being, because
Who's-
it's two parts.
The Planning Commission's determination on the disturbance that's permitted per the hillside protection piece of it would determine whether or not that special use in its current form could move forward. So that's why the special use is postponed for the duplex subdivision, and the hillside protection case is proceeding.
So just to say that back, if it's on consent today, the hillside component, then does the special use automatically? It doesn't. It would
It'll
be
be
before
heard
us
Next month.
Understood. Okay,
Right,
thank you.
two different applications, right. Very good. Okay, so no other questions on the consent list. So I need a motion that the consent list as read with the removal of item number 41. Anyone? We have a motion and a second to approve the consent list, less item number 41. Motion made by Commissioner Barger and seconded by Commissioner Daly. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. All right, so we are moving on to our agenda. Item number 5. This is a planned amendment report request. The applicant is Watt Development. The property is on the west side of Davenport Road, north of Jonathan Avenue. The present zoning is low-density residential, hillside protection, and RN2 single-family residential and hillside protection overlay. The requested plan designation is the South Waterfront Mixed Use District Type 2 and the hillside protection. Staff recommendation on the sector plan portion of this is to deny the South Waterfront Mixed Use Development District Type 2 land use classification because the property is not of the South Waterfront or is not part of the South Waterfront Vision Plan. The hillside protection area will be retained. That is the, and this is the zoning. Yeah. So now we are on to this one.
The one-year plan.
Yeah, the one-year plan. The one-year plan, staff's recommendation is to deny the South Waterfront Mixed Use District Type 2 land use classification because the property is not part of the South Waterfront Vision Plan. The hillside protection will be retained. Also, with respect to the rezoning to RN3, the staff's recommendation is to deny the RN3 district because it is inconsistent with the adopted land use plans. The hillside and ridgetop will be retained. Is the applicant present?
Yes. Good afternoon.
If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Matthew Thompson with Watt Development.
Very good.
So starting out with the one-year plan, see, I'm trying to figure out all these plans. There's several. If you look at the one-year plan, I think the waterfront district is right next to it. If you could bring that up on KGIS. And I'm currently clicked on Knoxville one-year plan. You'll see.
Mr. Thompson, if I could stop you for just a second, is there any opposition here on this file? Just wanted to check real quick. Anyone opposed? Thank you. You can get. Yes. There. Yeah. And do you want to defer first? Would you like to let them speak?
Yeah, they can speak first. Absolutely.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Yeah, if you could approach the podium, please. And if you could state your name and address for the record.
My name is Sharon Mellis. Last name is spelled M-E-L-A-S. I live at 510 High Avenue, 37920.
Thank you.
And I'm confused. I can't really hear real well. I'm not sure exactly. There were several things that I was wanting to know about at this meeting, and I don't know which one that was. What was the proposition there?
This one is item number 5 on the agenda. Item number 5 about the South Waterfront.
Okay.
Is that the one you were wanting to talk about?
I don't think so. I'm concerned about the house that's on Davenport. So this is just about the waterfront then, is that correct?
This is the one you live behind the property or you live near the property that's?
My property is perpendicular to that property.
Yes, we see that now. Feel free to speak your concerns.
Well, I'm just concerned that what the zoning he is wanting to be. It's single family now, and I just want to make sure, I don't want to see multifamily housing come in any more up there on Davenport than is already there. We have several apartment buildings up there, and Davenport just can't support any more traffic, I don't think. So that's what my concern is.
Very good. Thank you so much for the comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson. Is there any other opposition to this file while we got it? Don't see any, so Mr. Thompson, please
Okay,
proceed.
Yeah, so looking at the waterfront district where you were before, you'll notice that right next to it is the waterfront district. And then I hear this concern with hillside protection. Well, it's already exempt from hillside protection. So one, the lot's right next door. You can see it right there. It's more, if you follow the line of that waterfront's more of 50% of that lot. So it makes sense for that. And then I keep hearing the other reason it hillside protection. Well, it's exempt. So both, I'm not tracking on that piece. Hey, it looks to be waterfront district and it's exempt. So if we're opposing both of those pieces, I'm not sure I understand the opposition on that piece. And just clarity for that.
Very good. Did you have any other things to say
Yes.
about them?
And I wanted for Sharon just to provide, because she was concerned about multifamily. RN3 really is no different in this scenario than RN2. We're looking to do some nice rooftop townhomes, 3 to 4 of them. You would go in, the driveway would be 26 foot. You'd go in, so the traffic itself would be very controlled. But at the end of the day, I have to get a special use permit. It's really the same exact zoning as it is today, but in RN3, the same folks have got to approve my special use permit anyway. I just don't see the difference. And then expanding on what Sharon and others have seen, there's apartments constantly up through there, right? To say, hey, I don't believe this should be waterfront, or I don't think this should be MDR. It really doesn't track for what's going on in Davenport. Everybody shook their heads. Yep, there's apartments up and down it. That right there kind of, normally we stay, if it's all RN1 with homes up and down Davenport, I could buy that. But if you follow it down through there, there's apartments consistently. So one, I see the report. I'm not tracking with the report. It's clearly more waterfront district, right? Second, it's hillside exempt. So that answers that question. And third, RN3, unless you guys approve it, the townhomes I propose is strictly up to you. So there's really no difference between RN3 and RN2 in this scenario.
Very good. Commission, does anybody have any questions? Commissioner Adams.
The comment that the applicant made about being exempt, hillside exempt, could planning staff respond to that?
Ms. Hillman?
There are exemptions in the hillside protection article for lots that have been previously disturbed. Those areas of previous disturbance can be disturbed again. Also, if it's a single-family lot of record, it's considered exempt, but that would only apply to single-family development on a lot of record that preceded the current code. So it does look like this lot has been pretty well cleared, but the steep slopes still do exist, so that was the real context in which the hillside protection was considered in the report, and the overlays and the area regulations still apply. It's not really a basis for denial of anything.
Okay. The other, I guess, comment that I have, and I'm very familiar with this road, there are apartments at different points on it, but the area where this property is, if you can pull up the version of the map that shows the pink overlay with the desired zone that is the applicant's requesting. Yeah, thank you. The fact that part of the argument is that this parcel is right next to the SMUD is part of what I think this body struggles with a lot, is that when you've got a zone established, and you start changing that, it becomes rationale to keep having more of that type of zone spread. And I think that those lines were drawn for a particular reason. That's more intense zoning than what the applicant is really wanting to do. But if we start to extend that zone, that becomes something that all of that neighbor area is going to have to start being concerned about, that is a growth area. So I'm concerned that the desire is to move to that more intensive zone that it hasn't been drawn for. I appreciate the desire to put some townhomes there. It is a housing type that we need. I absolutely agree with that. But putting it at that spot and trying to use the zone extension there to do that is concerning to me. So I support staff's recommendation on this case, and we'll make a motion to support staff recommendation to deny.
Okay, there's actually 3 motions associated with this one, if you want to take a shot at them.
I'll second that.
Yeah, we could probably start with the sector plan.
All right. So I'm making a motion to deny per staff's recommendation for the sector plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to deny the sector plan per staff's recommendation by Commissioner Adams and seconded by Commissioner Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No?
Could I
Ayes have it.
ask one question around that? Would you consider an MDR?
That's an application and a discussion for another day. Just today, we'll just need to talk about the application that's in front of us. So I would just suggest reach out to staff after the meeting, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so the second one will be the one-year plan.
Make a motion to follow staff's recommendation to deny the one-year plan.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to deny the one-year plan per staff recommendation by Commissioner Adams and seconded by Commissioner Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. And then the rezoning to RN3.
I'll make a motion to follow staff's recommendation to deny the rezoning.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny the RN3 zoning request per staff's recommendation by Commissioner Adams and seconded by Commissioner Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Just
Thank you.
reach out to staff, please. Thank you. All right, we are on to item number 12. Omar Yusuf at 0 Locust Hill Lane. This is for a concept plan for 7 lots. The location is the southwest side of Locust Hill Lane, north side of Chapman Highway, northeast of Redbud Road. It's for 7 lots. There are no variances required. Staff recommendation is to approve the concept plan subject to 11 conditions. Is the applicant present?
Good afternoon, Commissioners, staff, and neighbors.
Yeah, can you state your name and address for the record, please?
Omar Yusuf, 0 Locust Hill, 7SB 25C.
Very good. And is there a Miss Winter here? Okay, so you've got some opposition over here. Would you like to, and Miss Weaver, Miss Winter and Miss Weaver. Do you want to speak first, or would you like to let the
They
opposition?
can speak first.
Okay,
No
very
problem.
good. Yeah, if you could just come down and state your name and address for the record. You'll have a combined 5 minutes. So if you want to call it 2.5 each, that's fine.
Tiana Winter, 504 Locust Hill Lane. Thank you for the Planning Commission for your careful oversight of our city's development. Our primary concern is the hillside instability combined with the number of homes and narrow lot widths that do not match the scale of our neighborhood and are not feasible for Locust Hill, a 16-foot wide dead-end road on a blind curve. The current site plan mirrors Gatlinburg-style stacked hillside development, which is not compatible for the infrastructure or character of the 1940s and 1950s neighborhood. Placing multiple narrow homes on this steep, constrained slope would create roadway blockages, unsafe passing, and limited emergency access. Lots 1 through 4 are the most problematic. They sit on the steepest and narrowest section of Locust Hill. Building 4 homes there would require substantial grading, tall retaining walls, and major slope cuts. increasing runoff and erosion onto the homes below on Chapman Highway. These walls would also create a noticeable visual impact along the Chapman Highway corridor. For these reasons, we recommend reducing lots 1 through 4 to 2 lots. These concerns directly relate to the hillside and ridgetop protection plan. The slope calculations appear skewed because a large portion of the site is designated for stormwater detention. Once that area is removed, most remaining buildable land lies on the steepest slopes and hilltop protection zones exceeding 25% grade. City policy requires lot-by-lot slope analysis, and several lots exceed the 20% disturbance limit. We have also concerns with the posted site plan, which lacks a full construction survey of the site and roadway. Without this, driveway feasibility, grading limits, utility placement, and road widening needs cannot be properly evaluated. Based on the current concept, Locust Hill cannot be widened safely without using private property, which residents will not and do not consent to. Safety remains a primary issue. Emergency vehicles have already struggled. Most recently, a fire engine had to reverse down the entire road. In addition, Locust Hill is not serviced by school buses, has no public transportation, and already has limited access for emergency services. This raises logistical challenges for construction equipment, large truck and trailers. Additionally, the site plan proposes tandem driveways which would utilize off-street parking and further impact the road accessibility. The hillside contains karst features, unstable shell, and natural drainage channels, and serves as a wildlife corridor. Additional grading and tree removal will intensify erosion and slope instability. We are asking for strict enforcement of the planning's current recommendations. Additionally, a detailed engineering review, updated geological and hydrological studies, evaluation of road widening needs and private property impacts, along with a full evaluation of TDOT at the corner of Locust Hill, specifically turning left. It's a blind turn. A complete construction survey of the site and the roadway. We are asking that lots 1 and 2 be combined with a 50-foot setback, lots 3 and 4 to be combined with a 50-foot setback, and eliminate lot 5 due to 28% slope. We also ask for the city to monitor the tree removal and a native vegetation and Knoxville canopy replacement plan. We ask the city oversee the construction vehicles, equipment, and portable facilities, removal of tandem driveways, process clarification. Specifically, how is it even feasible to widen this road safely with current residents? We ask that the application of a similar development at Monterey Oaks be applied to this. Given the hillside instability, safety concerns, slope limitations, and limited service access, this skewed site plan impacts to Chapman Highway, we respectfully request a postponement and a full review.
Thank you, Ms. Winter.
Thank you.
Ms. Weaver, are you? So we're down to 44 seconds. Okay, let's do it.
Thank you so much. Jaylene Weaver, 208 Locust Hill Lane. There's quite a few elderly folks that live on our street, and I had to call 911 3 times this year for my mom who had open heart surgery just this February. And it is terrifying and such a narrow road. And it's not a 3-point turn that the fire engine has to make. It's like a 20-point turn. Recently, I was headed down our street and an Amazon truck was coming up and there was no room for the 2 of our vehicles. It's such a narrow road. I'm just, please take a look and consider that this is just a dangerous situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Weaver. Mr. Youssef.
I'm here with my fiance, Haley Rowland. I just want to address a couple of things. Appreciate you guys for your time. The property, when we first started working with the planning department and the engineering department last May, the plan was to be to 7 lots, but then they recommended to lower the amount to keep less disturbance, less issues, and make it safe for everyone there to lower it to 7. Since May, we've been working with Mr. Reynolds and his staff, which we've been patient and helpful with all the guidance and everything. So we bought this property to build something for our family. Something for me and my fiance are getting married next year. Also something for her mother, my mother-in-law who lives in Memphis, we're trying to bring to Knoxville. And the rest will be for our goddaughter, we bring in the area, and the rest for our siblings. We're not, this is not a big corporate trying to build something, build a bunch of housing to benefit from. It's something for us to live together and be close as a family. We understand that's the amount of the housing they're talking about, but that's the only way for us to be able to afford all the expenses and all the things that the engineering and the planning department are requesting from us to widen the road and make sure everything is safe. Also, we understand the hillside protection. We follow all the guidelines and all the rules, and we've been working with everything and lower the amount of disturbance and the trees and the tree cuttings and everything. But we'll do our best to protect the neighbors, the neighborhood, and build the small, affordable housing for us and our families.
Very good. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Yusuf.
you.
Thank you. Commissioner Perez, did you have a question, or did you just leave your light on?
Well, since it's on.
Sure.
Mr. Yusuf, I'm not sure if you have, can you address some of the concerns of your neighbors, please? That the neighbors brought up. If you are working with engineering, have you discussed more about, could you discuss about the roads and maybe some of the improvements associated with the construction?
So far, we work with the engineering, and I'm working with the local developer in the area. And what's the engineering and the planning department recommended to widen the road to be able to make it safe for everyone for emergency vehicles. And also, we made sure, and there's more plans there, that all the disturbance will be to the smallest amounts, keep most amount of trees, and protected the area. Thank you.
Very good. Is there any more questions with respect to that? I did have one. Mike, I think you reviewed this file. Regarding the hillside, there's been some questions about the hillside on that. So you guys ran a calculation, and it fits within the city's guidelines?
Correct. The hills, or the slope analysis, I think it recommended 1.97 acres. Yeah, 1.97 acres of land disturbance, and I think their plan is, 1.93 acres of disturbance. And that'll be rechecked during permitting to ensure that they're staying within that limit.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mike. And just one comment to Ms. Winter and Ms. Weaver, a lot of these conditions that are put in here, these 11 conditions that the staff has imposed on this application, I think really take care of this. The reason they're in there is to take care of your concerns. Just as we mentioned about the road being widened, all that has to be taken care of before they'll cut the permit loose. So if he gets down the road and there's a right-of-way that you had mentioned that's not able to be acquired or anything along that line that would prevent that road from being widened, it would not allow him to pull the permit. So fully can relate to everything you had on there. But a lot of these staffs worked hard on trying to get a lot of these questions answered for that. So just wanted to let you know that I think a lot of that's taken care of with the 11 conditions. So Commissioner Adams.
Yeah, I appreciate you kind of starting to outline how these are being addressed, and I appreciate Commissioner Perez trying to get some engagement with the applicant on that point. In terms of how they are being addressed, I know some of the requests are about combining lots, and I'm assuming that in the work with planning staff, these are things that they're requests from the neighbors, but the lot number is something that planning has worked with the applicant on already, reducing from the I can't remember the
Yeah.
starting number.
I think they started with 9 lots, and they've reduced it to 7.
So I fully recognize there's been a lot of work on this case and trying to get it to a point where the things that are real concern points have been isolated. The sight line onto Chapman, the narrowness of Locust Hill, and then the disturbance factors. I guess I have one thing I want to say just about the disturbance. Normally, when I talk about disturbance, I am concerned about the diminution of trees and things going away. But in this case, I'm actually concerned about the stability of the land there. If you've driven it, I'm sure some of you have, it is quite a steep ravine, and there are existing properties there that I'm concerned that the disturbance won't just be a removal of trees and wildlife, but it could actually impact the existing property. So I am concerned about that. And also the sight lines onto Chapman. If you have pulled out of Locust Hill, it is truly taking your life in your own hands. It is not for the faint of heart. So in terms of walking that down with engineering, can you or staff, just to make sure that everyone can hear this, what those steps are with the engineering assessment of the sight line on Chapman and then the engineering assessment of the road itself and its widening?
That might be more for city engineering, Mr. French. Can you speak to that?
Yes, we always require a design professional engineer to design the road expansion and the slopes and retaining walls. So they would need to take into account the long-term stability of the slope in the road. As far as the sight line, they provided a sight distance analysis. It appears that there won't be adequate sight distance as it is, and so one of our conditions is to work with us and TDOT to mitigate that to a safer level. We would typically require that on the front end at this point, but since this is a TDOT road and that can be a pretty long process of communicating with them, and they've done a lot of studies on Chapman Highway recently, we thought that they may have specific guidance, so we would allow them to work through that during permitting. But we would require that sight distance to be mitigated to a safe point before getting permitted to move forward.
So if I heard that correctly, the sight distance would have to be answered in a yes fashion that it's possible. And
Yes.
then permitting could take place, and you would allow TDOT to work with the applicant to get that addressed, even though it might not ultimately happen.
We would require the sight distance and the conversation with TDOT to happen before permitting and incorporate it into the design plans that we approve. So we would have to have a plan to get the sight distance in a safe spot before permitting, and that would be bonded by us and TDOT to make sure it happens.
And then on the road widening,
Yes. That would also be bonded. It would, the specific requirement will be to widen the road to 20 feet, the entire length of the development. We would review those plans, require it to be designed by a professional engineer and bonded before permitting.
and nothing could be done to the property in question in terms of grading, in terms of any kind of disruption until the permitting took place.
Correct, yes.
If during this process, I'm sorry, I'm going into hypotheticals at this point, but if during the process there are other issues that arise, is there the potential for planning to work with the applicant to change the the number of dwellings that are planned there.
Yes, they could reduce the number of lots as long as the plan is essentially the same, like they're not like making flag lots all of a sudden, or, you know, like things get moved around. If they combined a couple of lots together to reduce the total number of lots, then yes, that's usually fine.
Yeah, and I think, again, just circling back to my comments earlier, these 11 conditions that are on the file and on the application right now will lead to more questions, will lead to more requirements to make sure the public safety is there. So, I mean, I think I think staff's done a nice job in evaluating that. Commissioner Midas, you had a comment?
Yeah, like Commissioner Adams, I appreciate all the work I'm sure that has gone into this, both with engineering as well as with planning staff. I have a lot of concerns about the number of lots on this. I mean, the number of lots that are going to be on this piece of property. It's very steep. And I do worry about the aesthetics of looking from Chapman Highway at all those walls. I feel like, and I appreciate Mr. Youssef's initiative to try to get his family on the same street. I think that's a wonderful aspiration. I'm just concerned about this piece of property. And when we're making this decision, it's for that piece of property, and I just feel like it's too intense. And I will be voting against it.
Mr. Adams, you still had a comment?
Yeah, I guess I too want to speak to the amount of time that has gone into this, and I appreciate everyone working very hard on it to try and make it possible. And I feel like when I read the case, I keep seeing the case being something that we're trying to make it possible. But just because we can, I'm not sure that we should. And that's what I'm hung up on. Having driven the site and looked at it multiple times, it just seems really problematic. So I think I'm not going to be able to support this for the reasons that I've stated, the concerns about the disturbance and the sightlines and the road, and just seems like one that maybe we're trying to push a little too hard.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Is there any other comments or questions? Mr. Anderson, very good. Thank you.
I appreciate everybody's input, and I do think there is a lot of thought that needs to and has gone into this. I think staff's analysis, as Chair Huber said, is very on point, and so I'd like to make a motion to approve this per staff's recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the concept plan subject to 11 conditions by Commissioner Anderson and seconded by Vice Chair Levinson. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? Okay, well, let's go to a roll call. Mr. DeArmond.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Browning.
Aye.
Commissioner Levinson. Commissioner Barger. Commissioner Overton.
Aye.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Butler.
No.
Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Gill.
No.
Commissioner Midas. Commissioner Adams.
No.
Commissioner Huber.
Yes.
That's 9 to 4.
There you go.
No, I'm sorry, 8 to 4.
8 to 4, right.
9 to 4.
All right, there we go.
13 total,
there's
9 to 4.
9 to 4. We got it. All right, we can add. Yes, very good. The motion carries. The motion carries. Good luck, Mr. Youssef. Okay, we're moving on to agenda item number 22. The applicant is Jeffrey Young. The location is the south side of Sevierville Pike on Kimberlin Heights Road. The present zoning is agricultural. The requested zoning is planned residential up to 5 units per acre. The staff recommendation is to approve planned residential zone with up to 4 units per acre because it is compatible with the surrounding development and consistent with the Knoxville, Knox County Comprehensive Plan. Is the applicant present? Yes, sir. Okay. Is there any opposition? I believe we have 4 people signed up on this, Mr. Johnson and Ms. Marshall, Mr. Long, and Mr. Smith. right? Great. So you're all here. And again, I'd like to encourage you guys, because the way the meetings work is the opposition gets 5 minutes and the applicant gets 5 minutes. So if there's 4 of you, please try to keep it to 5 minutes combined with that. So, Mr. Young, would you like to defer or would you like to speak first?
I would like to say something first.
Okay, very good. Take the name and address, please.
My name is Jeff Young, 2300 Cover Bridge. I would just like to speak on behalf of the project itself. I passed out some flyers, but it's also in the applicant comments on the zoning committee under the PDF. Might be easier for everyone to see that. Thank you for the opportunity to share additional background on the rezoning request for my property at 7705 Sevierville Pike. I'm requesting residential zoning at 5 dwellings per acre. This is a 5.69 acre parcel. It has not been surveyed quite yet, so we're not 100% sure on the final number count, which would allow approximately 28 single-family homes. The attached concept plan has been previously reviewed or talked with by the staff. The gentleman that put together my concept plan met with Mr. Reynolds to kind of go over the design overall. Didn't see any red flags in that process. The intent of this community is to fill a growing need for attainable, low-maintenance, single-level housing in South Knoxville. The homes are designed as ranch-style, single-story residences with small, manageable yards and an HOA structure that maintains common areas and minimizes owner upkeep. This type of neighborhood provides an excellent option for older adults looking to downsize but remain in the area. Homeowners seeking new energy-efficient homes with minimal maintenance and those preferring one-level living in a stable, owner-occupied community. This property's gentle topography supports a slab-on-grade construction, improving the accessibility and affordability. While staff has recommended a reduction to 4 dwelling units per acre, I believe that 5 dwelling units per acre better supports the intended product type and the housing needs of this area. At the lower density, the lots become too large to sustain, and the maintenance-light model that appeals to the target homeowners. I respectfully ask for your consideration of 5 dwelling units per acre to enable a practical, well-designed neighborhood that aligns with the current housing trends and community needs. That said, I would like to save the rest of my time for comments afterwards.
Thank you, Mr. Young. We have the opposition of Mr. Johnson, Marshall, Long, or Smith, whoever would want to talk. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Steve Johnson. I live at 7628 Sagefield Drive, which is the Crossfield subdivision that kind of horseshoes right around this the subject property. Obviously, we're here in opposition. The big reason is the infrastructure around that area. You got Sevierville Pike and then John Sevier. We've lived there for many years. Everybody in that subdivision was built in the 60s and 70s. The roads around it now are just massively topped out as far as traffic. I drive to Oak Ridge in the mornings to go to work, and there's at least one day a week where John Sevier's a parking lot, because of an accident or whatever reason. And as far as needed housing in that area, I don't know that I agree with that. And the people that I'm here with probably don't agree with it either. In the last 10 years, I've got a list here of 5. You've got 287 apartments down at John Sevier and Chapman. You've got 73 homes, 64 apartments across from Wildwood, which is, I'm sure you're all aware of what I'm talking about. Just down the road, you got 174 homes in Cherokee Woods. You got Cook Brothers going up the other way toward the highway, 200 to 300 homes, 200 townhomes. They're just finishing up down Strawberry Plains. I don't see why this is needed at all right here. It's not going to do anything to improve the area, the Crossfield area around it. In Basil Field, you already approved, if you go over to the right side of that, you just approved 11 acres. There's going to be a similar type of housing. All this traffic dumping out onto Sevierville Pike is going to be a nightmare. If you started to redo Sevierville Pike today with the sewers and the water lines, there's absolutely no shoulders on that road. It's 2 lanes with no shoulders. 5-10 years maybe before you get that road up to speed with everything that's going on. So that's why we're opposed to this whole thing, basically. And really, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
So, thank you.
So we have Ms. Marshall or Ms. Smith?
She gave her sign.
Great. So all right, so we got Ms. Marshall, Mr. Long or Ms. Smith, one of the two. You have just under 3 minutes left.
Well, Mr. Young shared with me a plan development here.
Could you state name and address for the record,
Michael
please?
Long, 7808 Sageville Drive. Mr. Young shared this plan just before the meeting. These houses appear to occupy almost 75% of the lot space, which isn't even remotely compliant with the zoning ordinance. And this entire plan appears to be non-compliant with the zoning ordinances. I've looked at it. We don't comply with the purpose of the zoning ordinance, which is to provide for the public health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens of Knox County. You are supposed to look as planners, not just at the specific development, as you do in every case, but at the area, the zone, and the county. That is not being done. We're supposed to consider the social and economic advantages resulting from any orderly planned use. That is not being done. We're planning for a lot of growth in this county, adding about 60,000 more residents, when by natural growth, we're already 70,000 people greater than we would have grown to from 2010 to 2025. And that is based on statistics published by the state of Tennessee. And specifically, if we were to look at this, the area has homes that are typically about 1/3 of an acre. This is not something that is land too large to be maintained by elderly people like myself. And that is in keeping with the community. No property should have a plan or a building approval at greater than 1/3 of an acre in this area. In this particular case, you're going to have to put out or install a cul-de-sac. Your plan says those should be minimized. The estimate is that we'll have up to 6 children in this neighborhood. The only place they will have to play is in the very limited yard space on something less than 1/10 of an acre. We have safety issues. We also have a water problem there. We have a pond on the property, a stream that runs behind the existing farmhouse. And I've posted all of the different violations of the zoning ordinances or noncompliance, as well as the failure to comply with the greater land use and transportation plan. I know I don't have many seconds left, but all of my comments are posted online, along with a detailed explanation of how each element fails to be addressed by your own zoning regulations, which appears no one reads.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Appreciate your comments. Ms. Smith, we're out of time unless you, are you good? Okay, we are good. Thank you, Ms. Smith and Ms. Marshall for passing your time off. So, Mr. Young, you have some rebuttal time left.
Not really just rebuttal, but thank you, Mike, for speaking. One of the things you brought to me beforehand was just maybe a clerical thing on the application itself. I had put in an affiliation with Legends Development Partners, who was going to do the development. I had just talked to them. I've also talked to another development company. So Legends has no role in this application. So if we can make that amendment. As far as your comments about all the density and all the stuff that's coming in that area, I feel like the service that this will bring with single-family residential or single-level residential for an older community is very important. They're able to age in place as people hit, empty nesters or, they cannot necessarily go up and down stairs. So this is something I wanted to bring because it was personal to me, trying to find a home for my mom and needing single-level living. I'm also looking at doing the ADU units, so not ADU units, ADA units to make wheelchair accessible to some of these, depending on which lots based on the topography. But right now, this is a very good topography for slab on grade, which makes it ideal for this type of product. And then there was also a question about the water, and that would all be covered, I believe, by the engineering. We do have just a concept plan showing 2 different retention ponds that would help address the existing issues that are there, but then also prevent any further problems. And then as far as people getting older, I totally appreciate that. Everything I've looked at is showing that if you're building something like this and you have a retention pond, there needs to be an HOA in place. I would want that HOA to also put into place a landscaping contract to maintain the ponds and all the front yards. So essentially eliminating maintenance completely for those people that are moving in. It'll be better efficient homes, brand new roofs, brand new air conditioners, brand new everything. So it brings down the cost of living for someone that's on a budget. As far as the traffic itself, I did talk with the Department of Engineering. I believe his name's Jim Snowden. Talked to Jim Snowden. He said, looking at the cumulative effect, there should not be an issue. And on top of that, with the population I'm hoping to bring to this area, they would be people that are not doing 9-to-5 traffic. They're not running their kids back and forth. This would be empty nesters and senior citizens that maybe even have 1 car instead of 2. And that's where I'm at. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Young. We'll talk about it with the commission here and see what the questions they might have. Commissioner Gill.
Yes, thank you. So I think in these instances, it's a challenge sometimes as a commission when we look at lots of different housing developments across the whole of our county, and in a lot of cases, everybody is like, yes, but why here? And why is it that our particular area is responsible for allowing a development in its area? And one of the ways that we as a body are supposed to consider is some of our future land growth plans and our future comprehensive land use. And I would wonder if somebody could pull up on KGIS there, the overlay that shows our growth policy plan for that area. So I think it's important to kind of point out that under our growth policy plan, this area is slated for future growth. This is a planned growth area. The idea being that was figured out through public policy to say, when we are considering housing developments, where in the county are they appropriate versus where are they not appropriate? Where are areas that are actually considered rural based on our public policy plan, and what are areas that are intended to have future growth? There's a lot of reasons why that's important, including the ability for the county planners and engineering to know where future infrastructure upgrades are going to go, and make sure that they can know those areas as they are making plans in the future of where infrastructure upgrades need to go, that they're able to target those areas, and those developments are going to be clustered in the areas that have been identified for that. And with respect to some of the comments that we've heard, this is a planned growth area, and it's also intended to be under our comprehensive land use to be suburban residential, which defines that as predominantly single-family subdivisions with lots smaller than 1 acre. This area is intended to be for that type of development. That's what our public policy that we on this body are supposed to abide by has identified as the areas where subdivisions with small lots are supposed to be clustered within our greater community. With respect to the infrastructure upgrades that are necessary, when we cluster these areas where they're supposed to go, that allows the county engineering department to be able to make long-term decisions as to how to best serve that area. As I don't know if Mr. Snowden would like to speak to this. We've heard a couple of things about the cumulative effect of a lot of the housing going in there, and that cumulative effect is not necessarily a problem at this time. But if that does become an issue, or that is something that needs to be identified, that's what the county is able to do, to identify that. So, Mr. Snowden, are our plans to modify any of the roads in this area?
Thank you, Commissioner Gill. Yeah, we currently right now, Sevierville Pike, Cumberland Heights, these particular roads that surround this area, we don't have any proposed improvements for them. Was looking up traffic count through there. It looks like somewhere around 2,000 vehicles a day. The roadway's probably 18 to 19 feet wide. So there is some surplus capacity on that roadway to accommodate for the proposed development.
Thank you, and I think that's what the reason I'm going down this pathway is that this is where we're supposed to be putting development. We have a plan in place that is supposed to address some of the concerns that have been brought up. And I understand that it's not what it looks like right now, and those first steps into the development can be difficult. But this is where we're supposed to see this type of development, because this is where it is most appropriate based on the policies that we put forward. So I think that, I think I would like to make a motion to approve per staff recommendations.
I was actually requesting the 5. That's different than the staff recommendations? Would that, and the reason why is because at 4 per acre, then you have to put more square footage on the same amount of space, and that changes the demographic that I really wanted to serve in that area. With 1,600 to 2,000 square foot houses, all one level, to the concern of not over covering the space. And that's what I was asking.
I really appreciate that, and thank you for bringing that up. I think that our staff does a fantastic job of weighing the various factors that are involved in this. And while I appreciate that 5 would be your preference, I think staff got this one right. We're still providing a density that's appropriate for that area and the infrastructure that's in place, and I think that they got that right based on the recommendation.
So if I needed to get 26 units on this property, based on just the chicken scratch I've done so far, would I need to withdraw this at this time to talk to staff would that even be something that how would that be proposed? Could we do it based on number of units versus actual, is it like dwellings per unit?
Right. So, yeah, so the recommendation from staff,
This isn't a development plan. It's a
no,
rezoning.
this is purely a rezoning application right now. I understand what you're saying, but the application was for 5. The request or the staff recommendation is 4. There's a motion on the floor for 4. Assuming that passes, you could come back and make another application request at 5 units an acre again, but or for a different zoning if you wanted. Now, that said, staff, I think, has already kind of flown their flag that they feel like 4 is the right number. So just letting you know that. But we've got a motion on the floor and a few other commissioners I need to get to. So, yeah, we have a first by Commissioner Gill and a second by Commissioner Barger, but Commissioner Browning was patiently waiting.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, if I may.
We've got discussion on the floor. We've got to talk up here.
Indulge Mr. Young to go over his time.
No, he was addressed by the commission. You haven't been addressed by the commission. So we'll keep the discussion up here for now. Commissioner Browning, please.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Huber. I actually got a chance to drive over there to this piece of property yesterday. I was coming back from Sevierville on a business trip, and I got to tell you, there was a comment earlier that we weren't addressing the social and economic advantages, of some of our zoning decisions. If I lived over there in that neighborhood, and with all due respect to the people that do live over there, there's a lot of pride of ownership over there. It's a fabulous area. But I would be really excited about this development. I really would. And then when I was leaving this development, I accidentally took a wrong turn, and within a minute, you're at Lowe's. You're at a huge retail shopping center over there. So I almost agree with Commissioner Gill and almost agree with staff, but if this motion fails, which I'll be voting against it, I would make a motion for 5 units per acre.
Thank you, Commissioner Browning. We had a few lights on earlier. You got some minds changed? Commissioner Adams.
I just wanted to, I appreciate what Commissioner Gill said. I concur. We've got the growth plan in front of us, and that's what we're tasked with trying to meet and fulfill. But I wanted to express why I support the 4, because while your proposal sounds lovely, and I very much agree we need that type of housing, similar parental sort of situation. The fact that you could disappear tomorrow and we would have changed this land and it would be up for 5 units per acre for someone else who may not have the same intentions that you do. So that's why I'm concurring with staff's recommendation for the vote in front of us.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, there was the one that was just a couple down that has been rezoned for 3.5 per acre. But because of the hillside protection, they, I think it's called clustering, where they're bringing them all down the hill. So the actualized density that they're proposing is higher than what I'm proposing for a parcel that can be, and they actually have their initial design plan on the KGIS showing their lot sizes and their layout with smaller footprints for 2-story houses. And that's why I was asking for 5, is because essentially it's similar density, actualized because of this junk land, not junk land, but this unusable land at the top. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Very good. And I'm going to jump to Commissioner Butler real quick, and then we'll get back to you, Commissioner Gill.
Well, just from a design standpoint in your planning, I think there's a reason that clustering tends to work better from a community level because having a very high density of homes on really small lots is, while I appreciate the aspect of not having a large yard for elderly senior folks to maintain, I think from a design standpoint, the clustering tends to help. So I don't think that is kind of a relevant comparison. I too will be along the lines of making that development. I too think the staff got it right. And I think in that type of development that you're proposing for is much more attainable and comfortable.
I was concerned because my initial meeting with Mr. Reynolds was that there was no red flags based on the way we had it laid out. So that was the change. So,
very good. Commissioner Gill.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little sidetracked here a little bit, and with respect to the applicant, this is not a development plan review.
Correct.
Right, so this is a rezoning.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Adams's point is that if you decide for whatever reason that you don't want to move forward after this rezone, somebody can come in and put 5 dwelling units per acre of townhomes or multi-story or something that doesn't meet your plan at all. So when we're making these considerations, we have to make considerations irrespective of what your design plan is. We certainly appreciate that you brought that to us today. It's always nice. But just so it's clear when how some of us view this is that we don't actually look at your plan. So as much as I respect what you're going to do with it, and I commend you for doing it, it doesn't apply to what we're actually talking about today, which is kind of why when you say, well, what do I do about my extra units? It's like, we're not considering your development. We're considering the actual land use. And so 4 dwelling units an acre, however you figure that out, can be anything that you can fit within that on a development plan. We're not actually looking at that component today. So I'm glad you have that.
Yeah.
People come here all the time who ask for plan review and they've not even, they have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They don't have an inkling of a plan. So we're considering the land use. Just, I want to make that clear.
Would there be any middle ground between 4 and 5?
No, the motion's on the floor, but I want to tell the opposition too, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Long, Ms. Marshall, and Ms. Smith, that this is just a recommendation that will be forwarded to Knox County Commission. Knox County Commission is the one that actually changes the zoning. So even if it doesn't fall exactly like you want today, there is another step, and I would encourage you to make your voice known there. But for right now, we have a motion and a second by Commissioner Gill, second by Commissioner Barger at 4 units per acre. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? We have one or 2 noes? 2 noes. 2 noes. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. At 4 units an acre. Okay, we are on to agenda item number 25. 1222 Development is the applicant. The location is the south side of Asheville Highway, west of South Wooddale Road. It is currently zoned agricultural. The zoning requested is CA General Business. Staff recommendation is to approve the CA General Business because it is consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and the surrounding development. Is the applicant present?
I am. It's Stephen Claire, 300 Letterman Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919.
Thank you, Mr. Clare. And is there a Heather Banks here? Ms. Banks is going to speak in opposition. Would you like to defer?
No, I want him to go first.
Well, it's his choice, so he gets to go if you go if you want. If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Heather Banks, 205 Breakville Road. I've spoken to the neighbors, all of us who live around this area, and we all disagree with the rezoning. It's agricultural. He's trying to rezone to commercial. We don't know for
Ms.
what
Banks, can you pull the
purpose.
mic down just a little bit so we can hear you? There you go. Perfect.
Sorry.
There we go.
We don't know for what purpose he wants to rezone it. We have children who live in that area, and there's a lot of wildlife. I think the biggest concern we have is there's a creek. It's a large dip or ditch, and then a creek back there. So if it is developed, what will happen to that creek? So that's, and I do have a petition signed by the people who live in the area. I can submit it to the website, though, or to the email address.
Yeah, or you can just hand it to Mr. Reynolds over here on your
Okay.
left. Very good.
Thank
That's all your comments?
That's all my comments.
Thank you very much, Ms. Banks. Mr. Clare?
Thank you very much. First, I'd like to apologize to the lady who spoke. The owner of the property had reached out to a number of the neighbors. Obviously, I don't know that he was able to speak with her. I'm happy to meet with her following this meeting to discuss what our plans are for this. It's a very low intensity use for the property. The owner of this is hoping to do some enclosed self-storage on the back part of the property, meeting all of the Knox County guidelines within that ordinance 4.9.03, including the 20-foot landscape buffer between any residential zone and the self-storage, buffering off the front. As far as the creek goes as well, obviously that'll be put through engineering and have to go before Knox County and TDEC. There won't be any modification to the creek or its buffering that's required other than just the crossing that would have to be approved. And so it presents really well. Based on the ordinance, you have to have a planting strip between the arterial and that anyway. This will leave us about 75 feet of tree cover that we wouldn't be touching. We wouldn't be able to. They're not disturbing the stream buffer. And so our request is that you approve staff's recommendation for the rezone to commercial.
Thank you, Mr. Clare. Are there any questions from the commissioners? Any thoughts, any motions? Commissioner Midas.
I'll recommend an approval for CA, General Business Zone, because it is consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and surrounding development.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the CA General Business by Commissioner Midas and a second by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you,
Mr. Commissioner.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And if you don't mind, yeah, get with Ms. Banks there. That'd be great. All right, item number 28 is an application by S&E Properties, LLC. Location is the east side of North Campbell Station Road, north of Yarnell Road. It's just under 61 acres. It's zoned planned residential up to 2 units per acre. This is a subdivision and concept plan request for 116 lots. There are multiple motions that will need to be made. Staff's recommendation on the first variance is to approve the variance to reduce the minimum broken back curve tangent length on Road A from 150 feet to 53.61 feet at Station 1 plus 25.69 based on the following evidences of hardship. There are 3 listed. The staff recommendation on the alternative design request is to approve the alternative design standards based on the justification provided by the applicant and the recommendations of Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works. Regarding the concept plan, the staff recommendation is to approve the concept plan subject to the 9 listed conditions. With respect to the development plan, the staff's recommendation is to approve the development plan for up to 116 detached residential lots, subject to one condition. And before I go to the applicant, Mr. Snowden, could you guys speak to the variances in the alternative design? Have you guys had a chance to look at that and get comfortable with them?
Yes, my staff reviewed those, and we're good with them. They don't create any unsafe conditions, and we agree with their justification.
Very good. Thank you very much. Is the applicant present?
Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street, here for the applicant.
Very good. Is there any opposition to this application? Seeing none, you have the floor.
I would just appreciate you pass per staff recommendation on this. I know we worked with Mr. Reynolds and Engineering Public Works trying to work this out. There is an area for future development. There's a little bit additional density, but that would be large lots potentially. We're looking at the net density on this being within the 2 units an acre. So yeah, this one meets all the requirements. We just ask that you approve.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Is there any questions from commission? Keep in mind, this has 4 motions. Yeah, and we'll start with the variance if anybody wants to jump in.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance to reduce the minimum broken back curb tangent length on Road A from 150 feet to 53.61 feet at STA 1 plus 25.69 based upon the listed evidence of hardship.
We have a motion and a second to approve the variance per staff recommendation. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No, the ayes have it. Number 2 is the alternative design.
I'll make a motion to approve the alternative design standards based on a justification provided by the applicant and the recommendations of the Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works.
Got a motion by Commissioner Anderson, a second by Vice Chair Levinson to approve. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Number 3 is the concept plan.
Make a motion to approve the concept plan subject to the 9 stated conditions.
I have a motion by Commissioner Anderson and a second by Vice Chair Levinson to approve the concept plan per staff recommendation. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No, the ayes have it. Staff recommendation on the development plan.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the development plan for up to 116 detached residential lots subject to the 1 stated condition.
I have a motion and a second to approve the development plan per staff recommendation by Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Levinson. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No, the ayes have it.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, we're moving on to agenda item number 29. The applicant is Mesana Investments LLC. The location is at 7734 Majors Road, east side of Majors Road, south side of Coppic Road, west of Squirrel Lane. The zoning is planned residential up to 4.75 dwelling units an acre. The number of lots of this request is 116. This one also will require multiple motions. The first one will be for an alternative design. Staff recommends that we approve the alternative design standards based on the justifications provided by the applicant and the recommendations of Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works. And the second staff recommendation on the concept plan is to approve the concept plan subject to 12 stated conditions. The third motion would be for the development plan. The staff recommends that we approve the development plan for up to 116 attached residential lots subject to 2 conditions. Similarly as the last, has engineering had an opportunity to look at the alternative design, and are you comfortable with the justification?
Yes, we agree with the applicant's justification.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Is the applicant present? Okay. Is there any opposition? I believe there are 2 people signed up. Mr. King, pardon me, Ms. King and Mr. Mills. Are you present? Okay. Would you like to defer, Mr. Davis? Okay. Yeah, come on down and state your name and address for the record. And I'd like to remind you, you have 5 minutes combined to speak. So if you could keep it to 5 minutes total, we would appreciate it.
Understood. My name is Holly King. I live on 7920 Coppic Road. Okay, so first, thank you for meeting with us. I want to address particularly the capacity levels. I know that the plan is to go through to avoid out routes for roads onto Coppic and Majors, which I appreciate because the last time we were here, it was dumping onto Majors, which has been addressed in the plans, which is good. But the problem is the lack of attention for our infrastructure and our schools. I have spoke to multiple people. Yesterday, I spoke to one of the receptionists at Gibbs Elementary, and their capacity for the school is 1,000. They are 12 less than, she couldn't give me an exact number, but less than 12 students away from max capacity. In the rural, or in our rural area, we already have 6 major developments that you guys have gone through and passed, which have over 100 houses. One has 500 houses. You can't tell me that in those houses, they're not gonna have more than 12 elementary school students going to their classes. I also know that on multiple people who I've spoken to, the middle school is over capacity. Multiple classes, their class size is supposed to be 33 on multiple occasions. Students are in 35 and 36 in these classes. They are way over capacity. So where in the public school system are these students going to be fitting? I know it's not probably your guys' job in full to review that, but it is something to be considering. And with kids going to school and a public institution, the zoning is going to get absolutely nutso if we don't start taking that into consideration now. So that's the major thing. Besides the transportation, the time that it's taking. I think the last time I was here, I addressed the craziness on Thompson School and that people are making cut-throughs to go through the back way to come up the Ruritan area to make sneakaways because Gibbs Elementary, just dropping off Gibbs Elementary, middle school, and high school, the time zones to do that for middle in the morning for pickups and drops-offs is insane. So I'd just like you guys to take that into consideration going forward.
Thank you, Ms. King. Mr. Mills, state your name and address for the record, please. You have 2 minutes and 37
Jack
seconds.
Mills Guttering Construction. I live on 7711 Majors Road, and I have a property at 7809 Majors Road where the business is. When we first started this, we all agreed on 117 homes, nothing west of that creek. Now they're going to put in 3 homes there. There's no sight distance right there on Majors. You're going to Coppic, none at all. And what I don't like is the smaller the house. You've got 2 houses on Coppic that are 6,000, 5,000 square feet. Mom and Dad's house is almost 4,000. There's bigger homes there. If we have to compromise on homes again, just go ahead and make the lots bigger and put a bigger house to complement with the rest of the houses there. Don't put rentals in there. That's what I don't understand, because the first time we didn't want 150 homes there, so we went down to 117. That's not what we agreed on to begin with. And then also the flooding issue. At 7809 Majors Road, there's 2 fields there, and they floods me out. When we build the hay and whatnot, it floods. Every time it rains, that Thompson School Road water just rolls down that creek and up on top of me. So that's one thing I have a problem with. If you put those duplexes in there, which was not a part of the original agreement that we agreed on, and then building west of that creek on the west side of that Kearns branch, that was not part of the plan. Then he comes back and wants it to change the plan. No, that doesn't fly, because it's not made. It's in the flood. It's a 100-year flood zone in there. If you all look at the plot, it's 100, and there's just no way you can put that many homes in there. Just, if you're going to build homes, just a bigger house for everybody else. Don't have to be a monster, just something that's not that small. And don't cram them on top of each other. And also, like I said, the sight distance is horrible. It is just, there's none on Majors Road right there where he wants them to be. And there are several people online who couldn't be here today that's voiced their opinion against all this. We don't want the noise, for one. We moved out there in 75. I've been there for 50 years. And it's been quiet. That's why we moved out there, to get away from the hustle and bustle. If they want to move, if they want to go somewhere, that's fine. Somewhere in the city, it's fine. But we moved out there on Majors Road, Coppic Road, and Thompson School Road to get away from the hustle and bustle. and all the fast cars and the loud music and the carry-on of a night. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Mr. Davis, name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, Scott Davis, P.O. Box 11315, Knoxville 37939. Part of our agreement was not to come off of Coppic and/or Majors Road, and part of our agreement also was anything west of the creek to remain agricultural. I think we have 4 acres there and 4 agricultural pieces, so the most you could do would be 4, and with the creek coming in, the maximum we could do would be 3 lots on 4 acres. I respectfully request you all approve as per staff recommendation.
Very good. And are there any questions from commissioners regarding the application?
We're not talking about, just help me understand here. We've heard that one of the concerns of the neighborhood is the development west of that creek there, but that's not part of what we're hearing today.
Yes, sir. Well, no, sir, not necessarily. The piece where the arrow is, that is part of the property that I have purchased, and I agreed to help appease the neighbors to keep that agricultural and take that out of what we were originally applying for zoning purposes to reduce the number of homes that would come onto Majors Road.
Right. So, but this development that we're actually considering on the marked piece on the site plan that you have in place does not concern that western area, and none of these homes actually connect to Coopic or Majors. Everything's emptying out on Squirrel Way down to Thompson. So the sight lines are not what we're discussing today on Majors Road. None of this applies to that. We're discussing just that northern and eastern part of the property.
You're 100% correct, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Daly.
Thank you. I had a question about that as well. I will say, I live in Gibbs. I completely understand the traffic issues as I sit in it twice a day, going to Gibbs Elementary School. So I do understand that. But like it's been said earlier, we have a growth plan policy that we are supposed to follow, and that is our tools. So I do think, staff does a great job as what can fit in these areas. I think one question I have maybe for Jim or Steve on Thompson School, or maybe you can answer it as well. Are we going to have to do any turning lane or anything there to accommodate any extra traffic based on density?
We looked at that pretty close, Commissioner Daly, and it didn't meet the warrants that we established for turn lanes, so there won't be any off-site improvements as part of this expansion of the Phase 2.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Midas.
Yeah, I have a question probably for Mr. Snowden. How do you make the decision? I know that this agreement was made before that all the property would be exiting out on the Squirrel Run lane. How do you make the decision that that's safe? I just worry in an emergency situation if people were having to evacuate that you had that many houses, including the current residents that are already there in that first section that would be exiting.
And I'd like Steve jump in too, but there is this subdivision also connects to another subdivision, so we've actually got two access points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes, we do. And I actually counted today with the 118, he is adding, and I believe there's 20 or so before you get to the next intersection. He's only got 138 homes on one access point. And our fire code says we can have up to 250 on one access point. So once they get back to Bill Keaton Way there, they can actually go out a second entrance. So there is 2 access points.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize that. So
Squirrel Run.
All of this.
Yeah, Squirrel Run Way connects, and I think, what's the other one up there? Wheat Meadow connects also to Thompson School, so there is 2 access points.
So everyone in, okay, I guess so. So that's less than 250 per access point?
We can only, the fire code says up to 250 dwellings on one access point, and this one has 2. So I would consider only the one access going from where the dead end is back into there, and I think that's 130 so units.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Snowden, can you guys address any kind of flooding concerns that are out there?
They'll have to comply with the stormwater ordinance when they come in for design plan review. So they'll have to mitigate whatever increased volume they have from this site. Without seeing a design plan, it's hard for me to talk about the flooding until we actually get the numbers from their engineer.
But you will be taking a look at that, I think.
Yes, yes. We have 3 very qualified plans reviewers that will be looking at this.
Very good. Thank you. All right. So, Commissioner Levinson.
Can I make a motion?
You can make whatever motion you'd like.
I'd like to make a motion on the alternative design to approve the alternative design standard based on justification provided by the applicant and the recommendation of Knox County Department of Engineering and Public Works.
We have a motion to approve the alternative design per the staff recommendation made by Vice Chair Levinson and seconded by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. The ayes have it. The concept plan would be.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the concept plan subject to 12 conditions as per staff recommendation.
Got a motion and a second on the floor. Motion by Commissioner Levinson, second by Commissioner Anderson to approve the concept plan subject to 12 conditions. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it.
That's bullshit.
The next one is the development plan. Development plan, Commissioner.
Approve the development plan up to 116 attached residential lots subject to 2 conditions as per staff recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner Levinson, second by Commissioner Anderson to approve the development plan for up to 116 lots per staff recommendation. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Good luck, Mr. Davis.
Hey, thank you all for your time and your service. Thank you.
All right, so we are moving on to agenda item number 30. The applicant is Ham Land Partners. The subdivision is Thompson Creek. This is west side of Thompson School Road, northwest of Carnes Drive. The current zoning is planned residential up to 2.9 dwelling units per acre. The request is for 150 lots. This one's really going to be interesting. It's going to require 7 motions. So there's a few variances in here that we'll need to address. But just to jump in here, staff's recommendation on variance 1 is to approve the variance to reduce the minimum broken back curve tangent length on road B from 150 to 71.79 feet between curves C23 and C24 based on the following evidence of hardship that is listed in the staff recommendation. Staff recommendation on the second variance is to approve the variance to reduce the minimum vertical curve K value on road B from 25 to 20 at station 53 plus 50.00 based on the following evidences of hardship, 3 that are listed in the staff report. Staff recommendation on the third variance request is to approve the variance to reduce the minimum vertical curve K value on road B from 25 to 19 at station 55 plus 15.00 based on the following evidences of hardship. Again, 3 listed in the staff report. Variance number 4, the staff recommendation is to approve variance to reduce the minimum vertical curve K value on road C from 25 to 20 at station 68 plus 52.00 based on the following evidences of hardship, 3 listed in the report. Variance number 5, approve the variance to reduce the minimum vertical curve K value on road A at the intersection approach with Thompson School Road from 25 to 15 based on the following evidences of hardship. Again, 3 listed in the staff report. That is all the variances. Now we would move on to discuss the staff recommendation for the concept plan. And the staff's recommendation is to approve the concept plan subject to 11 conditions. With respect to the development plan, which would be motion number 7, staff recommendation is to approve the development plan for up to 150 detached residential lots in Phase 2 of the Thompson Creek subdivision, subject to 1 condition. Is the applicant present?
Yes, sir. Robert Campbell, 7523 Taggart Lane.
Is there any opposition to the application? Seeing none, Mr. Campbell, you have the floor.
This is phase two, that the entire subdivision was approved as one unit before, and we had, I think on this side, 210 lots. It's now down to 150. We also had a bridge crossing, and we've looked at that bridge crossing between the two, and there's some environmental constraints because of the width of the creek and different features that make that crossing problematic. So we've reduced the number to 150 so that we could have a separate entrance on Thompson School, and would appreciate your approval.
Thank you, sir. Is there any comments or questions from the commissioners? Vice Chair Levinson.
Should we start?
Let's go for it.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve the variance to reduce the minimum broken back curve tangent length from Road B from 150 feet to 71.79 feet between curves C23 and C24, based on the following evidence of hardship as per staff recommendation.
Have a motion and a second to approve the staff recommendation on the variance one. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
All right.
As read by Chairman Huber.
All right, I'd like to approve the variance as staff recommendation read by Chair Huber.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve the variance number 2 per staff recommendation. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Approve variance number 3 as per staff recommendation as per stated by Chairman Huber.
Second.
Have a motion to approve variance number 3 by Vice Chair Levinson and seconded by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
I'd like to approve variance number 4, approve variance to reduce minimum vertical curve K value from Road C from 25 to 20 as per what John said earlier.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve variance number 4 by Vice Chair Levinson and seconded by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Habits are hard to break. Okay, I'd like to recommend for approval of variance number 5 as per stated by Chair Huber.
Second.
We have a motion to approve variance number 5 by Vice Chair Levinson and seconded by Commissioner Anderson to approve per staff recommendation. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. And this is the concept plan.
And I'd like to approve the concept plan subject to 11 conditions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. A motion by Vice Chair Levinson and seconded by Commissioner Anderson to approve the concept plan subject to the 11 conditions per staff recommendation. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Okay, and to approve development plan up to 150 detached units as per staff recommendation.
Second.
Okay, we have subject to the one condition as well.
Yes, subject to the one condition.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the development plan per staff's recommendation with the one condition up to 150 units. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Levinson, for all that. Okay, we are on to agenda item number 36, Yassine Terreau, American Dream Development, LLC. The location is on the north side of Westland Drive, east of Westland Bay Drive. The zoning is RA, low-density residential. The proposed use is 2 duplexes. The staff recommendation is to approve the request for 2 duplexes as shown in the development plan subject to 2 conditions. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Mr.
My name is Yassine Tiro. My address is 102111.
Very good. You have opposition. Would you like to speak first or defer?
Yes. I will let them go. No,
Okay.
I will let them stop.
Very good. So the opposition, not that you won't know this, that you have 5 minutes and combined 5 minutes. So if you want to split it up at 2.5 and 2.5, that's okay. Name and address, Mr. Klein.
Wayne Klein. I'm at 1226 Birch, B-U-R-C-H, Birch Cove Way, and my property is adjacent to this property. My family and I have been there for 57 years, and throughout this time, we've seen Knox County develop, and we also know that you have a plan, and the plan is to include duplexes in planned residential, but this area has been single-family residential for as long as I've been there, and probably 55 years before I was there. And so we're asking you to consider this. Why? Because in the RA zone, duplexes can be considered. That means they can be denied. And we're asking you to deny and keep this area single-family residential because that's the character of the neighborhood. Now, why would we do this? Because one, allowing 2 more duplexes in this area puts a traffic pattern into the corridor from Westland Drive, North Shore, to Westland Drive, Pellissippi, that is impossible to maneuver through on a daily basis, going both ways. In the morning, traveling east, I can't get out of my driveway, as others who I am speaking on behalf of, I can't get out of my driveway sometimes for up to 5 minutes going east. Coming home in the evening, I don't usually get home this early, but I am told by my constituents and neighbors that from somewhere around 4:30 to about 6:30, the traffic is backed up from North Shore Drive all the way on Westland Drive to Ebenezer Road. And I hope you know what I'm talking about. So we are injuring the neighborhood. We are adding more components, more units than should be there, and it's outside of the character of the neighborhood. And I have lots of discussion, but I have another person that needs to talk. So those are my comments. I am here on behalf of the folks that live east of this property, all the way down to the Pellissippi interchange. And folks want to maintain the single-family residential character, and we know all the reasons in your planning report, in your planner's report, why they say it should move. I take issue with this is a great adjunct to Concord Park. Concord Park, for the first 30 years I lived there, was a great park, and then it became a restaurant. So I'd ask you to consider denying the request for duplexes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Mr. Mullins, state your name and address for the record, please.
Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street. It's a strange day when Mr. Klein and I are speaking on the same side of a project. I represent Bob and Chris Can, who live at 1204 Westland Bay Drive. And while they're not necessarily opposed to this per se, I'm sure they would be happy if you did deny this, as Mr. Klein has advocated. Their concerns are, I guess, a little more specific. Of course, Westland Bay Drive is a private drive, joint permanent easement that those 10 lots maintain themselves. There's an existing problem right now with the property. It has a single-family residential home on it, and when that home has visitors, they often use Westland Bay Drive as off-street parking. They park along that, they block the driveway, block their private drive, and walk just over onto the property through the yard into the home. And of course, they are obviously very concerned that if you had 4 more units, 2 duplexes, that will increase. So what they are asking is, if you are apt to approve this per staff's recommendation, that you do either a fence or some type of dense landscape buffer along that western boundary line between the property and the road to kind of deter any pedestrian traffic, anybody that would park along there, so they can't just pull off and help block the road and can't just walk over there, that they would park on the property as guests as they should. And so we would like to add that as a condition of approval if this body is apt to approve it. So that is my specific request on this on behalf of my clients, Bob and Chris Can at 1204 Westland Bay Drive. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Mullins. Is there any questions yet? Okay, Mr. Thurow?
Thank you very much for having me today here and giving the opportunity to talk about this piece of land. It's been there for, I think, a few months now, trying to talk, especially with Mr. Wine, who was complaining about this project. He talked to me, and I have a very nice conversation with him. And I told him, let's work together to see what the best for that area. Let's make it. I needed an access to get. So if I do single house there, I think I will have a right to 3 driveway. Now we minimize that to 1 driveway because we want to do duplex. So to his concern about that driveway, if he requesting to do single home, I think in every attached area land to Westland, what is the main street, I will have a right if I'm subdivided, and I think I can subdivide it to 3 lots and have a 3 driveway right there. So I asked him very nicely, I asked the client from the second, I forgot your name, I'm sorry, and asked them to give me like an access from the West Bay to reduce the driveways that go to the Westland, what they complain about, and they say no. I've been trying to make this as happy for them as a good neighbor. I try to work with them for 6 months, but the problem, they're concerned, they doesn't want the smaller houses. They want their bigger houses, old money to be there. And I think it's the right for the people to have smaller houses, affordable houses in that area. And I'm sorry, I tried to work it out. And again, if they're complaining about that driveway, I think if I go single homes, I can have 3 driveways. I'm not an engineer, but that about their complaint and what they're complaining of, we reduce it to 1 driveway to go and serve all the duplexes and make some other affordable houses there. That's all, I think. And I follow everything the staff recommend and all this time, trying to make it this happy for them. But unfortunately, they doesn't want no growth. They doesn't want no duplexes. They wanted the big houses there, and it cannot be happen.
Thank you, Mr. Turow. The question for you, Councilor Mullins had mentioned a possible fence down that western side along with the Westland Bay. Is that something you would consider? Or
actually, with the staff recommendation, they told me to remove the whole driveway who will access this area away from the West Bay.
That's correct.
To reduce all these things and make any problem. So I think with the staff recommendation, tell us to remove the whole driveway. What I wanted to be closer to the West Bay, I think that should fix the problem. And if they wanted to make really a fence or they don't want to make it, they can make it in their land. But I did move the whole driveway as the staff recommended to the middle of my land away from their driveway.
So let me ask Councilor Mullins if, and this might be an engineering or staff question, but is Westland Bay, is it not a private drive?
It is,
He doesn't have access.
we don't have the ability to put a fence along that. I mean, I think, we don't own the property on the other side of it. It's a joint permanent easement that goes up and accesses that, or we would have been addressing that problem before. But it's an existing problem with the single-family residence. So that's why we think we would like to have some type of barrier to deter or prevent pedestrian people from parking on Westland Bay Drive, which they shouldn't be doing anyway, and then walking over to either the single-family house or these 2 duplexes.
So I'll just throw that out there again, Mr. Youssef, Turow. Would you consider planting some trees or putting a fence
Was
down
the
that
recommendation I'm following from the staff, asking me to move the whole driveway away from their driveway, like almost 40 feet, 50 feet. I don't think we need it right now. If they want to do it, they will do it at their cost.
Okay,
but
so
I follow what the staff say. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go next to their driveway. So I did try to be nicer. I moved the whole driveway away from their driveway. So if they want to do anything, they can do it at their expenses.
Okay, very good. I think that answered my question. Commissioner Gill.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify. I appreciate your response, Mr. Youssef. I guess we're asking for a potentially a condition to be placed on here, Councilor Mullins, that provides some sort of barrier between these properties. But you stated that the issue currently is that the single-family residence that is not this gentleman's property are using that area now to park. So we're asking the applicant who owns the property to adjust for an existing problem that somebody else who's not involved in this.
No, it's part of his property. The single-family residence is at the top part of that. That is the house that's there. It's It's not part of the, he's putting the duplex on the two parts below, but that single-family residence is still part of his property.
Okay. All right.
And that's an existing condition that with the single-family house, we know people are parking on the road and walking over there. And so our concern is, and what we're asking to mitigate the problem would be when we have two more, if they're doing the same thing, parking on a private driveway and walking just across on the grass instead of pulling up into the driveway, because you obviously can't park on Westland Drive. It's too busy.
Okay.
So
You can't, hang on, just, Mr. Terrell, we're talking to Councilor Mullins.
So that's what we're asking, is to mitigate the impact of people parking on Westland Bay Drive, the private drive, and walking across the ground to these properties.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Terrell, if you wanted to make another comment, you're welcome to come up to the mic.
Yeah,
You still have some time.
I just want to make sure this house has been empty since I buy it. So none of my people who's going to this house, they've been there. If you go down, it's been over 2 years, I think, since I buy it, and even been here like for 7 months, 6 months. So there is no one in my house, and there are no people coming to park to go to my house. So they have a problem with the other side owners, and I know about it, and they know about it, but looks like they want to complain about mine. I don't know why.
Very good, thank you. Commissioner Adams.
I thought I was clear until you asked your question. So Westland Bay, that's the long road that goes back to a cul-de-sac.
Correct. It's a private drive.
That is also a private drive.
Yes, it's a joint permanent easement, I'm assuming, something like that.
But when Commissioner Gill was asking the question, there was a comment about residents at the back of the parcel that we're talking about that's also a shared drive. That is the issue?
That will have an access from Westland Road. So the driveway will go and
If you could approach the podium.
Can you come
approach the
closer so we
podium,
can?
please.
Sorry. That will have an access from Westland Road. So one driveway can access the three buildings. Instead, if I do single homes, I can have a three driveway. So the staff is working to fix the problem and reduce the driveway amounts, you know? So we're gonna serve the whole three buildings from one driveway.
But the request that Councilor Mullins was making was about Westland Bay, not
Westland
about.
Bay, yes. Yeah, not about
Right.
Westland Drive.
And just to give a little color, and please, if I'm incorrect in any of my information, let me know. If my memory of the history of this, there was one single-family home on
Yes.
this property. It was an acre-ish. Mr. Terrell bought it, came in, subdivided it from one lot into 3 lots, retained, actually tore down the house in the front. It had 2 houses, tore the front one down, or one of them down, kept the one in the back, renovated it, subdivided the 2 lots that we're here talking about today that he wants to build duplexes on. So yes, there was some talk at one time about him wanting to access from Westland Bay Drive. However, that is a private road. It's not a public road, so you can't do that without permission. They did not give permission. So now engineering, everybody's coming back in saying you need to consolidate your driveway down to one access for all 3 buildings, 5 units. I don't know if that helped or confused.
No, it helped. There were lots of Westland Bays and then a new
Right, it's
drive.
Westland
Yeah.
Drive, Westland Bay, yes, so that's that. And now, and the folks on Westland Bay are concerned that people are gonna be parking on their private entrance and accessing the duplexes or the other, so that's a discussion. They would like a condition to be added if we were to approve that would require a fence to be down that western property line of theirs, if that helps.
Chair, my light's about to burn out. It's been on so long.
Oh, I didn't even see.
I'm so sorry, I didn't see you over there. Sorry, Commissioner Hill, I didn't see you.
Make a motion to approve for staff recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion to approve per staff recommendation with 2 conditions by Commissioner Hill and, Commissioner Overton. Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we are moving on to agenda item number 38, Niles Hay. This is it's a use on review report for a property located on the northwest side of Emery Road, southwest of the northern terminus of Brown Gap. The property is zoned RA, low density residential. The proposed use is a 4-lot duplex subdivision. Staff's recommendation is to approve the request for 4 duplexes as shown in the development plan, subject to 6 conditions. Is the applicant present? If you could come on down and state your name and address for the record. Is there any opposition? Yes, we have a Nicholas Talent. Is Mr. Talent here? Talent? Nobody here? Okay, Mr. Hay, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Nils Hay. I live at 4925 East Emery Road. It's the subject property there. One of the things that I saw with many of the comments were with the traffic related to Emery Road. And much to my surprise, one of the comments that I got from staff was that there is a long-term plan to widen Emery Road to 5 lanes. So I think this helps with a lot of the congestion there, specifically at Emery Road and Brown Gap Road. So that on top of, I'm here today with my wife, and then our brother-in-law as well is building this with us. And so we're only planning on building at best 1 a year right now, just due to the finances of funding everything ourselves. So that on top of the widening the road, I think works well with the plan, and we request that you approve per staff recommendations.
Thank you, Mr. Hay. Are there any comments or motions?
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the request for 4 duplexes as shown in the development plan, subject to the 6 conditions.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Vice Chair Levinson and seconded by Commissioner Perez. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody.
We are on to item number 41 that was pulled off of the consent list. The applicant is Thompson Thrift Development. Location is on the south side of Shad Road, north of Ball Camp Pike. The existing zoning is OB, Office Medical Related Services, and Planned Residential, up to 9 dwelling units an acre. The proposed use is a multifamily development at a density of 16.66 dwelling units per acre. We will have 2 motions, one development plan, one use on review. The staff's recommendation on the development plan is to approve the development plan for a multifamily development with up to 300 units as shown in the development plan, subject to 9 stated conditions. The staff on the use on review is to approve the use on review for multifamily development with up to 300 units, with up to 274 units in the OBK zone, as shown on the development plan, subject to 1 condition. Is the applicant present?
I am Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street.
And we have some opposition. Mr. Talent still not here. Anyone? Mr. Talent? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did read the wrong name. That was my fault. Mateo Andres. Mateo, yes. So you do have some opposition there. My apologies. Do you want to allow the opposition to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. If you could come down, Mr. Andres, and state your name and address for the record.
Yes, my name is Andres Mateo. I live in 8019 Ball Camp Pike. I was just seeing, because we have like 2 streams coming down. Those two streams coming down, they are going to my property. So I see the extension pond. So what is the extension pond is going to flow into? It's going to flow into the stream, because when it rain, so I get all the water just going through my property. And even with the roller track, they washing the rock, in the stream. So I was seeing, that case, so I'm going to get more water. So I think it's going to be more problem. But other than that, it's nothing going to damage my property too much, because sometimes when it rain, and I see, because, like the stream going in, because it get build up with all the rocks coming through and stay in my property. So, and it's, my other side is clapping. So it's clapping down when the big rain go through. So it's the only thing I'm concerned about, or not, I don't have no problem.
Thank you, Mr. Mateo. Engineering, am I proper in remembering my old stuff with you guys that whenever a new development comes in, they can build a pond, but they cannot increase the flow rate out of, once they detain it. So the flow rate theoretically will not be any faster over your property. Is that still correct?
That's correct. They'll have to detain the volume of water on their property and release it at pre-development flow rate. So I wouldn't say there won't be a greater volume going towards them, but the velocity will be the same. It'll be released over probably a 72-hour period. So he will see it for longer periods of time, but the velocity will remain the same.
Right, right. So you guys have taken a look at that plan and are comfortable with
We're okay with what we've seen. We've not seen any numbers or any volumes for the pond, so we've not reviewed it that far in depth, but we're okay with what we see here.
Very good. So I would suggest if you had any issues or questions, you can get with county engineering on that.
Okay.
Great.
All right, is all I'm asking. Thank you for your
Thank you, Mr. Mateo. Appreciate you. Mr. Mullins?
Yeah, just briefly, I do appreciate you asking engineering that. And of course, we'll continue to work with engineering during the design plan phase of this to make sure that we, in the permitting that we meet the stormwater requirements and don't put any more water on Mr. Mateo's property as far as keep it at the pre-development flow rate. So would defer to staff's recommendation on this and engineer's recommendation that we meet the requirements and ask that you approve.
Very good. Thank you, Councilor Mullins. Anyone? Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I can't read. Hang on.
It's a development plan.
Make a motion to approve the development plan for multifamily development with up to 300 units as shown on development plans, subject to the 9 listed conditions.
Got a motion by Commissioner Barger, seconded by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. This is the use on review, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the use on review for multifamily development with up to 300 units, with up to 274 units in the OBK zone as shown on the development plan, subject to the 1 listed condition.
Have a motion by Commissioner Barger and a second by Commissioner Anderson to approve per staff recommendation the use on review. All in favor say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay, so. Yeah. Well, we think we did pretty good today. I want to say before we adjourn, I want to say one quick thing, and we don't have any of it worked out, but we are heading into the holiday season. So we have been talking about having just a very light, casual get-together, but just to make it easy on everybody, after the December meeting, maybe just we'll go gather somewhere on Market Square or somewhere downtown and, just to have a little camaraderie. But the details will be coming. Spouses will be welcome. Staff is certainly welcome too. We appreciate all you guys. But we'll get that out there, but we just want to make it very casual. Just if you can make it, great. If you can't, that's okay too. So that being said, we are adjourned.